Ali, just 2 rounds of the regular season to go, but I've just been feeling that this is almost like a cup final in itself. You're at knockout rugby almost, aren't you, with plenty to play for, and Sale.
That's the mentality we have to start playing at. Obviously, preparation for that semi-final, it's going to get tight. It's going to be who pushes through in those tight moments, and it's important that we're at that mode, because obviously Sale are coming here. They're desperate for the points. They've got everything to fight for. So, you know, it makes it quite simple for ourselves. Although we don't necessarily need the points on the table, if you look at it like that. The important thing is those guys are ultra competitive about keeping the jersey as they go through. So they've got to fight, they've got to scrap. Their level of performance will be scrutinised, and we've got to see who's performing best when it comes to those semi-finals.
Is it a nice position for our guys or the squad to be in, because they know they've got to perform now, and this is a game where the opposition is really going to come at you?
Yeah, I think it's a perfect test. You know, Sale, you can see they've been physical and aggressive and abrasive over the last few weeks. They're going to come with that. We've got to make sure we're on the front foot, obviously, as the style of rugby we play. You know, we've got to make sure we're nice and direct, and then are smart enough to capitalise on that if we get some space. So, look, the challenge is right there. It's in front of the boys. It's been there in front of the boys for a few weeks now. It's really important that they clue into their levels of performance as an individual. If they get their performances right, they've got a really good chance of starting a semi-final, and then hopefully, if you get the win, then starting a final.
Are you seeing different characteristics in your side that perhaps from different years now, like potentially London Irish a few weeks ago was a banana skin, but the way they attacked that game, they went after it and produced a performance like that was what you want?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Irish were fighting for everything as well when we went down there. We just challenged the guys again with that personal performance. We had a few guys that had points to prove, and equally we'll have at the weekend. So, you know, that's key. You know, it's important to have these big games at this stage of the season to you know, really fine tune and make sure we're in the fight, and also when it does get tight in those semi-finals, that we're battle hardened and we're ready to go and take advantage of those situations when they come around.
Is it almost like you have 2 or 3 dress rehearsals for this semi-final now over these next few weeks?
Well, yeah, it's not really like that. I mean, we keep it day to day as much as anything, and keep pushing the guys hard in training, and it's important to keep pushing ourselves hard in games as well. Like Rob said it in the past, conditioning, it comes from training, but also that real top end conditioning comes from the game. So we've got to stretch ourselves on that front as well, to keep pushing and put ourselves in the best possible position come those semi-finals.
The squad is looking fit and healthy, and you've got plenty of competition, and a point underlined with the Braves performance on Monday night. Yeah,
those guys did fantastically well. You know, obviously, you know, played in a real good style, made a lot of line breaks. They were quick on the night, you know, and that just provides great competition, and that's been the way for the last few weeks. So the guys are pretty clear they have to perform as an individual to say, progress and get the shirt for next week against Quins, and then if they do that, they give themselves the best chance of getting in that semi-final.
You're in similar territory to previous years, but are lessons being learnt each year in how to cope for these last few weeks of the season?
Well, it's slightly different this year. In the past 2, we've always been fighting for something naturally on the externally, so that hence why it's been important to turn it internally for ourselves, you know, create that competition within the squad, because that's got to drive levels of performance. If we do sit back and just chill out, we'll get caught in these last 2 games. You know, we'll be able to react from that, but equally we want to make sure we're pushing ourselves so we're in the right frame of mind come the knockout rugby.